right, I am going to tell you today of how to be the author of an extraordinary life. One thing that spoke to me for the last few years is story, over and over and over again, telling my story and how to tell other people's. When I stare at a blank page to color, I'm lost. I've always craved the thick black lines like Kuzo's book, or color by number to tell me exactly what to do. A blank page is scary. It means that I have to be vulnerable and completely myself without limitations. It means people can see me for who I am. It means I take the chance of making a mistake and making a mess out of everything. But the irony of that, it's the moments that were completely outside of the lines that made me who I am. It was the choice to stand out and to be different that made me the happiest. Each of us is a book waiting to be written. One of the greatest takeaways I had from Storyline was while I was doing my life map. Donald Miller had us do our life map and tell the highs and lows of our life and map those out on a page. What I found out from that every single high in my life that I had was a direct result of making a choice and doing something out of the ordinary. One of the highest points I had was about 6 years ago. I call it a rebirth because before that, the 20 years before that, between high school and divorce, I can't really tell you what I did other than have kids. My goal was just to survive, just to exist. I made a choice at that point to live. Sounds straightforward, doesn't it? I mean, aren't we all living? At least that's what I thought I was choosing. What I was really doing was making a choice to be alive, truly alive. Being fully present in my life, and what happened? I tasted life. I breathed life. Hemingway said, try to learn to breathe deeply, really to taste food when you eat, and when you sleep, really sleep. Try as much as possible to be wholly alive with all your might. And when you laugh, laugh like hell. And when you get angry, get good and angry. Try to be alive. You will be dead soon enough. Don't be dead while you are still alive. I want to challenge you to write a better story for your life. And when I tell you to write a better story, I'm not saying you have to write a book. I'm talking about having a plan. Take control of your life and refuse to simply exist anymore. Why should you write your story? Because it's time. Einstein said, there comes a point in your life when you need to start reading other people's books and write your own. And I'm not saying don't buy the books from these amazing authors that are our friends. I'm saying it's time to just stop reading them and actually start planning for your life. And I know what you're going to tell me. Your life is messy. Mine is too. The world needs your messy. We don't experience bad things just to test us. We go through these trials so we can share our testimony with others. By sharing your story, you give yourself freedom. Freedom to process and grieve, freedom to experience, freedom to be imperfect. But you also allow other people to see their own stories in you. Your stories is one of those things that no one else here has. Own it. I promise people are watching you. Live a life that others will write about. Recognize that you are the author of your own story. If you don't write it, you're just going to be a part of somebody else's. Most men leave lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with a song still in them. Do you have a song that's desperately waiting to be sung? What, at the end of your life, would you regret not doing? That thing, that's what you need to do. You were created for a purpose, and this purpose is not to work and watch TV and sleep. We all have a purpose, and the world will be less for you if you don't share it. How, do you ask me, am I supposed to write this story? One way that I changed my life is to fill my story with moments, Corey talked this morning about monumental moments. Make some of those. I am just like you guys. I work a 9-to-5 job. I taxi kids around all the time. I make lots of mistakes. I go over my budget. I stay up way too late. I play on the internet. I think what makes me different from a lot of people is that I've chosen to make moments in my life. I allow myself to be spontaneous once in a while. I hop on the road at a moment's notice to drive 2 hours to go see a friend. I drive across the state to go see John because he's got a book signing on the other side. Or I take a drive to hold a wide-eyed, blue-eyed baby in my arms. Moments are those little things that in the end become big things. Those are the highs in your life that truly make your life worth living. These are the snapshots that you put into your photo album of your life. Another way to write your story is to grow. Try something new. Check off a bucket list item, live your list. I've done that quite a bit this year. I went snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, archery. I've done some really crazy stuff that I've never done before. And I look back and I say, I'm 45 and I just tried these things out. It's pretty cool. But you don't have to wait till you're old to start trying things new. Or even if you are old, it's never too late. When was the last time you did something for the first time? We spend the first quarter of our lives learning to do everything, to walk, to talk. Our minds can't get enough new. Once we hit adulthood, so many people just stop. Like we've made it, and now we just exist on cruise control. Don't be busy. Don't be so busy making a life that you forget to make a living. Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So I am going to ask you to do something crazy today. I am going to ask you to stop dreaming. Okay, breathe. I said stop dreaming. I want you to grab those visions looming in the clouds above you and bring them down to earth. It's time we start daydreaming about a life we'd like to have and planning one that we crave. Don't call it a dream, call it a roadmap. We are going to plot out a course to make these dreams you've talked about a reality. We are not going to let one more year pass and say, I'm going to, and never do it. How many people were at Nashville last year, and Kevin asked us, what difference would a year make? What could you do in a year? What have you done with that year? Because I know what I haven't done with that year. But I know what I'm not going to do this next year. Okay, guys? So everybody should have one of these. Okay? I want everybody to stand up. So I want you to go to where the number on the centimeter side, and I want you to find your age. And I want you to tear it off. And don't lie about it. This is just for you, okay, guys? Okay? Take it. I'm 45. I'm tearing that off. That part of my life is gone. I can't do anything about that. I'm over. All right, and then I want you to think about how long you think you're going to live, okay? I'm going to go for 90, okay? Take that and tear that off, okay? Because that's not going to be for you. Everybody have yours? Okay, 100's good. All right, I want you to look at what's left, okay, guys? This is what you have left to fill. Okay, I taped mine, we did this at Storyline, I taped mine to a vision board to remind me not to waste a single minute of what I have left. So this is my challenge to you. Start figuring out what you want to do the next 30, 40, 50 years. 80 for Casey, because he just turned 30. Stop comparing your life to others and write yourself a magnificent life. I will leave you with this quote by one of our own, Tamara West. Your life is to be lived on purpose. See who you can impact today. For you and the author of your story. Make an impression that lasts the test of time. Speak words of hope and love divine. That's all I have. Thank you.